of course he's a very smart man. No professor or doctor or anything like that. But and his research has taken him to eventually, well, how do they levitate these huge stones? And it was the only thing I can lead me to is the extraterrestrials, but I wouldn't want to go there. It's like that's the wall, isn't it? It's people don't want to talk about.
It is quite incredible. I had a 5-year-old child when his mum was trying to tell him how the pyramids were created. He got very, very angry with her, and he said to me, he got really angry, and he said, "No, it's all wrong, because I was there," he said. And he said they changed the density structure of objects large and small, and they levitated them into place, and there was a crystal placed on the top that communicated with other worlds. And there's things in the Sphinx that they haven't found yet. This is a 5-year-old kid, by the way. So I found that really interesting, and then I talked to a lady who's 76 that had encounters when she was 21 on a farm in South Australia. Hadn't heard any of my presentations, and she said, "You know, Mary, I know how the pyramids were built." So I said, "How did you know?" They told me. She said, again, she talked about the stones being levitated into the blocks, being levitated into place, and she said there was a crystal placed on the top to communicate with other worlds. And I'm hearing exactly what this 5-year-old had said. And then I said, so I told her this, and she said, but she said, "What about the spaceship?" And I said, "What spaceship?" She says, "The spaceship under the pyramid."
Wow, that's very impressive. So these children, are they able to get that support that perhaps they need? Is there?
I think as souls, they pick the families that sometimes it's families that will support that because they've already had encounters themselves and the parents understand, and many today have that kind of support because they've got a different role. But I think the ones that were of my generation, a lot of them had their reality denied, and they're only now finally owning it in their 40s, 50s, 60s or something or other. But they were shut down. And I think that there's been a process in terms of working with the human consciousness and psyche to allow us to go through this process of, first let's make them, let's use the fear stuff to get their attention. So they'll wake up with marks on their body, nosebleeds, feeling that something's happened, or maybe waking up at night not being able to move, being aware of presences around them. Going from that kind of, are you going to wake up and listen? To finding themselves outside with all the doors locked, for example. Well, how did I get here? Did they make a mistake? No, they didn't make a mistake. They've done this to get your attention. Waking up with pyjamas that aren't yours. How did that happen? Well, did something happen? Because we're so good at denying our experience if it's out of the norm. So they sometimes have to give us a bit of a slap and say, well, deny this one then. Deny these funny marks all over you, for example. Deny these handprints all over you. Deny that one if you want to. It's very hard to keep denying things where things are moved around your rooms or strange noises. All these ways to say, well, are you going to listen now? All right, let's try something else and see if we'll give you missing time for 12 hours. See what you do with that then. Are you going to deny that as well? You saw those lights, and you know that the clock's telling you something different when you suddenly remember where you are on a different part of the road. Do you see what I'm getting at? So it's like, wake up, mate. So every soul picks their wake-up moment. Every soul decides whether or not it's going to be more difficult. Maybe they know themselves well enough to know they're going to need something to highlight the fact that it's time to wake up and actually own their experiences. And for some, it's a lot more dramatic than it is for others. Like for some, it might be a near-death experience that wakes them up. For another, it might be a huge grief where they lose someone really close to them that wakes them up. We all pick something that our soul will, the red flag that says now it's time for you to take a new track, to grow up, to start realising, there's more to you in your life and your experience than at this point in time where you've been asleep.
There must be some really fun things, fun positive signs, as well as the New Age children, some positive great events that you maybe be going to in the future, or some things that you gain a lot of hope out of. For example, crop circles, or worldwide events worldwide that show you that the ball is rolling? Are there any other events like that?
In events, do you mean sort of staged events of some kind that are all part of this shift that you're talking about? Are you meaning in that kind of way?
Yes, or even on a personal level. Are there things that you see personally and go, wow, you know, that's great because that's correlating with what all these people are telling me?
Well, I've got a lot of time for the crop circle side of things because I've been there, and I've, you know, what I'm seeing with the crop circus is a lovely way of waking us up from, you know, that other unconscious level. What fascinates me with that is that many of my clients who've had ET encounters create the most amazing artwork, not only drawing of the beings but also complex geometric artwork. Some of them create these symbols, some of them come out with these languages. To me, this is all part of getting us ready for the new human, and that is where I'm excited, because what I feel is going on, and this is what lights my fire, is indicators of the new human coming in, the ones that are more intuitive, that you know, that have telepathic abilities, that have healing abilities. That's what excites me. The awareness that's coming in with all the children that are coming in with these abilities to heal and to show parts of themselves. And I'm seeing this right across the planet. We've got over 1,000 children in Mexico, for example, that can see other than with their eyes. I've even seen evidence of one 16-year-old who they blindfolded and they put a newspaper under her feet and she could read the headlines through her feet. These are part of our heritage. We are only using 3% of our DNA. 97% of it is switched off. We use 1/5 portion of our brain. What I'm waiting for is to be switched on, and what they're saying is that that bit that's switched off is part of the new human, that when we get switched on, there'll be no disease. We will actually, although look still physically the same, we will be operating in a completely new way, because we will actually have the hard drive for it. And a lot of these downloads of information, the symbols, the crop circles, all of that is, if you like, compressed files of information, the new software for the new computer. And that's what excites me. What is it going to be like when we really access our potential? How amazing is that going to be in terms of understanding what we are capable of and what we can do, and how we can interact with our cosmic neighbours and be fully part of the galactic community. That I'm waiting for that beautiful being, whether it's a Zeta or whether it's a humanoid or whatever. I'm wanting to go and meet up with them and say, tell me who you are, where you're from, tell me about you, tell me what's important in your cosmic community, tell me about how it is, and tell me more about what we don't know on this planet.
That's
how
beautiful.
Exciting it will be.
Oh yeah. And they'll say, but you already know.
Yeah, but I want to wake up to it. I want to be conscious. I want to touch that craft. I want to ride in it. You know, I want to meet them. I want to connect with them. I want to be able to connect on that telepathic level where there is a knowing and an understanding of that other consciousness that I can connect with on that intimate level, and have real understanding rather than the limited way our language is between one another. There's always misunderstandings because we can never articulate what is in our heart, which is what is in
and the words we use mean different things to different people.
Absolutely. You're always filtering it through your own understanding of reality, your own brokenness, your own limited, through your programmed response to things. All those things limit how we understand each other. So
if you were to envision it, you may have envisioned. I've envisioned these craft landing at the local footy oval.
Yeah.
And I've envisioned all these people around the edge of the footy oval. You know, this was a telecast event. Don't come, you know, around. And the craft lands, and the beings walk out over the cricket pitch, and they walk towards the people, and then slowly